Well, the reason that plans for energy from waste have come forward are partly due to the EU landfill directive, and that obliges member states to progressively reduce the amount of biodegradable municipal waste which is landfilled. And it's that, in combination with a number of economic drivers, the landfill tax, the landfill allowances scheme, and various investment subsidies. And the estimate is that by 2020, this country is going to have to invest around £11 billion in order to provide new facilities to treat, dispose, and recycle waste. The technologies that are really going to have the significant impact are the waste-to-energy technologies, the technologies that convert waste into either energy or into fuel. And the Audit Commission, when it came to look at this last year, reckoned that if we were behind by, say, 2 years in getting the plants into action that are being talked about at the moment, that could incur fines of up to £140 million and result in penalties that would have to be picked up by the taxpayer. The other implication of delay is that if local authorities fail to meet their allocations, they could face themselves fines of up to £2 million. Energy projects getting consent is a real issue, in spite of the fact that there are strong government drivers and policies towards energy projects. They are meeting with very variable success in applications for consents for waste to energy. There is a lot of opposition to energy from waste projects. There have been well-organised websites set up, and this has informed committee hearings into energy projects and has also informed public inquiries. There are well-developed websites set up by Friends of the Earth and others which keep objectors and objector groups across the country in touch with each other so that they can appear at these committee hearings and inquiries and speak up in opposition to these schemes. The difficulty that energy projects face is very often misinformation that is spread about the health effects and other effects of energy proposals. The success rate is very mixed at the moment. There's been a recent example of a scheme in Cheshire that was approved, but that didn't have to go through the local planning authority. It went straight to the Secretary of State. And there are other proposals that have been successfully steered through local planning committees by informing them of the real state of the technology and the real information about lack of health risks. The proposals can get delayed even if they're not refused in a number of ways. The High Court challenges can be made to the grant of consent, which delays the process of starting work, and we've seen that in a case down in East Sussex. There can be multiple public inquiries following High Court challenges, and that happened in the case of a waste-to-energy proposal in southeast London at Belvedere. And there are also call-ins by the Secretary of State for his or her own decision and taking the decision out of the hands of the local planning authorities, which we've recently seen happen in Nottingham. The government has produced a series of new proposals for consenting major infrastructure projects, and this would limit the amount of time to be taken following submission of an application up to a decision. However, waste-to-energy projects would only fit within the category of projects covered by these proposals if they generate more than 50 megawatts, which is unusual and would tend to rule out, therefore, most of the projects that are coming forward. The country has got very ambitious targets to be met, and a number of applications are being either delayed or turned down at the moment. And there are recent examples at Riddham Dock in Kent and down in Cornwall very recently, where a proposal was turned down in spite of the local policy supporting the idea of the proposal where it was going to be and in the general area of search that had been identified. So looking forward, there is a real issue in terms of meeting these targets and getting the infrastructure in place to do so. And proposers of these projects are going to have to be prepared to argue their case concisely, robustly, and intelligently, either at planning committee meetings or more likely at public inquiries, in order to get the right decisions and get the consents for the projects which they need.